Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's LeadHERship Global podcast. We are so excited that all of you have joined us today to have a really special conversation with the one and only Lauren Hasson. Lauren is the founder of DevelopHer, and she's a speaker at the upcoming Women's Wealth Symposium on March 8th here in Dallas, Texas, in celebration of International Women's Day. So if you want to meet Lauren and be in the room, be sure to get your ticket to the Women's Wealth Symposium before February 1st when the early bird discounts end. So just want to make sure that all of you have an opportunity to take advantage of being in the room with powerhouse leaders like Lauren. Now, before we dive into our conversation with Lauren, let me tell you just a little bit about this extraordinary leader. Lauren Hasson is the founder of DevelopHer, an award-winning career development platform that has empowered thousands of women to get ahead, stand out, and earn more in their careers. She also works full-time on the front lines of tech herself. By day, she's an accomplished director of engineering at the leading Silicon Valley payments company. But through DevelopHer, she's partnered with top tech companies like Google, Dell, Intuit, Armor, and more, and has worked with top universities, including Chapman, Indiana, and Tufts, to bridge the gender gap in leadership, the gap in opportunity, and pay for good. Lauren is a sought after leader, speaker, influencer, and she is so incredibly respected for her insight and her passionate voice. Lauren has literally created a movement, a global movement that inspires women around the world to seek an understanding of their true value and to learn and continually grow. And so we could not be more excited to welcome Lauren Hasson to the stage of the Women's Wealth Symposium. Lauren, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. I am so excited not only to speak, but to be an attendee in the room at this event.
I know it's so exciting to see the powerhouse lineup of speakers, influencers, authors, thought leaders that are literally disrupting the entire financial industry. And Lauren, you are top of the list. So before we get going, I know our audience is interested in knowing a little bit more about you and about your journey and what's led you to have such passion around helping women gain financial stability, financial freedom, and really understand their value in the marketplace. So help us understand a little bit about who you are and what led you to this place.
Sure. Well, flashback 14 years ago, and despite having a triple major with top honors from Duke, I found myself unemployed and barely making ends meet, earning minimum wage, working a retail job. It was one of the darkest moments of my life, and it was a really hopeless situation. I had no valuable marketable skills. My tech degree was almost a decade outdated, no network, and I wasn't only relying on unemployment checks to get by, but my credit cards were maxed out and my bank account was absolutely dry. It was a really, really dark time. And I took several steps that I'll share with everyone, 5 simple steps that I took that transformed my life. And within 2 years, I was top of field as an iOS software engineer. And I even had an invite to attend the UKGA Innovation Summit over in the United Kingdom. And I flew there on a private 747 jet. And then if that wasn't enough, I went on to triple my salary, my starting salary, and completely transformed my life. And now here I am 14 years later, and I am a engineering director. I'm an exec at a top Silicon Valley payments company. I've been living out however a lot of people define success. I work remotely, been working remotely for a decade. And I have completely transformed my life in any and every way that I thought possible. I have earned over 7 figures more in the last decade because I invested in myself and took this huge leap of faith and took the 5 steps that I'm going to share with everyone at the symposium. But not only that, I got complete transformation in my personal life as well and lost over 100 pounds.
Wow. Wow, Lauren. I can't wait for everyone to know more about the 5 steps that you took to transform your life that they can apply to their own lives. So that is amazing. And thank you so much for sharing your own personal journey that will not only inspire and motivate other women, but you're going to give them a step-by-step how-to guide. And I can't wait for that. Now, Lauren, I would say that like you and like your story, many women cite money as their number one source of stress. It can impact their mental and emotional health, and it can be compounded by factors like inflation, economic instability, and the persistent gender pay gap. So, how have you seen that impact the people that you work with, the people that you serve, the people that are part of your community? And how have you helped women overcome issues related to financial management and understanding their worth financially?
Yeah, absolutely. So, number one, I was that woman, and I still am in the trenches and continue to face the same challenges, unconscious bias, and the gender gap to this day. So, I not only been there, but I am there, and I know what it's like. And that's actually why I founded Developer. So, I looked around and talked to other women in the professional field, and I heard stories similar to mine. And I had been successful in getting change in my own career, and I kept looking around saying, someone needs to do something about this. And as I was looking out and I was pointing out saying, someone should do something about this, I realized that 3 fingers were pointing back at me. And I was like, I'm no more than a rank and file engineer, but I am someone. And so that's what I did. I started sharing my own story about how I overcame pay inequity and tripled my salary and dramatically transformed my life. And then I was invited to share my story even more, which is how I started over and really built my value. And believe it or not, that's the more popular story than how did I triple my salary, because anyone, anywhere, wherever you are right now, everyone can benefit by building their value, and that's where the real transformation happens. And so I started by sharing that story, and then it became a book over the pandemic, and then blossomed into a whole online platform. And Developer has grown into something bigger than ever I ever imagined. And it all started by me having honest conversations with other women who were in the trenches just like me, realizing that we had shared challenges, and me going, I might not be Sheryl Sandberg, but I am someone and I can do something about it.
I love that. I love that you took really radical and candid ownership for not only where you were in your career, but also paying it forward and ensuring that other women had access to the resources and the tools that you didn't when you felt stuck, when you felt overwhelmed. And so that really is about taking radical and candid ownership and accountability for your life. And Lauren, I so appreciate that. Now, I would also say that across the globe, the women that I know that are part of LeadHERship Global, these are women that make significant contributions to their families, their communities, their businesses, their economies. And yet, all women continue to face unique challenges in achieving financial independence, whether it's because of, as you noted, the gender pay gap, or maybe it's because of deep rooted social norms, or maybe it's cultural attitudes, or the limited access to financial education. Women often find themselves at a disadvantage when it comes to managing their money effectively, managing their career, managing their worth. So, how have you seen that impact the people that are part of your community and DevelopHer, Lauren? And then how do you help them?
Yeah, so a lot of people come to me because they want to learn the tactical skills to first negotiate their salary or increase their value to their company so that they can earn more. But the real secret is that what I really help you build is confidence. And it's that confidence that women are really lacking to get out there and take control of their finances, to speak up for themselves, to become their own best self advocate. And so, yes, you get the actual items that you need to take and the actions you need to take to level up. But what you're building really underneath is that necessary confidence that will carry you through so many different areas of wealth in your life, whether that's financial wealth, medical health, medical wealth, uh, mental wealth. There's so many different measures of wealth in my book, and confidence will help you build all of them.
Yeah, that's right. Confidence is the foundation to all health and wealth, confidence. And I love that. And, economic empowerment, it's not just about giving women access to money. It's really about helping them achieve agency to control their finances, to pursue their goals, and to shape their own financial futures, which, as you said, is founded in confidence. It's about giving women confidence that they do have the ability, they are well equipped, and they are empowered to control their finances, to pursue their goals, to shape their own financial future. And at the Women's Wealth Symposium, we're going to equip women with the knowledge, with the skills, and with the confidence that they need to make informed decisions about their finances. And often this is due to financial education. And certainly within the Women's Wealth Symposium, we are going to give them access to experts, to advisors, to financial education, to resources and tools that they can apply to their life right now. So, Lauren, what are you most excited about for the Women's Wealth Symposium?
I'm excited to see the opening keynote, which goes right before me, but it's all on mindset because that's something that I spend an inordinate amount of time, my personal time investing in, because I know that there's knowing what to do, and then there's having the mindset that actually enables you to do that. And that's really, I think every battle starts between your two ears. And it's in your head, and that's what the true battle is. And for every monumental change I have been able to make in my life, and there have been a lot of huge quantum shifts that I've made in my life. It first started between my two ears, and I'm always looking to level myself up and challenge myself. And I who knows what Suzanne might say. It just takes one sound bite, one different mental shift to help me pivot and really level up to the next level. So I'll be tuning in right as I go on stage.
I have to say that is so inspiring that you are an incredibly respected and admired leader, and yet you were also a lifetime learner. So even in your leadership, even in your success, even in your positions of power and influence, you still are humble enough to be a learner, to really absorb information and apply it to your life. So I love that, Lauren. And at the Women's Wealth Symposium, we're going to help women take back control of their personal finances. We're going to help them melt away any kind of money stress. And as we celebrate International Women's Day, you, Lauren, have generously agreed to advance the cause of empowering women financially. So, striving for a more equitable world, we not only unlock the untapped potential of half the population, but we can help cultivate a future where every single woman is financially empowered to pursue her dreams and shape her destiny. So, Lauren, how do you think that that kind of movement might impact the community that you serve?
Well, it's right here in my own community. I'm based in Dallas myself, so it's right in my own backyard. I used to live right across the street from the Highland. So this is as grassroots as it absolutely gets for me. And it's connecting with other like-minded women in a room. I believe there's a lot of power in community and sharing of knowledge. If you get one new idea from each person you meet and you meet 10 new people, that's 10 new ideas that you can go seed. And all it takes is one idea, one connection to radically change the trajectory of your life.
That's absolutely right. Oftentimes, it's one new connection, one new introduction, one new insight, one new tool or resource that can literally change the trajectory of your success. I love that. So, Lauren, we're almost at time, but I'm interested in understanding a little bit more about your journey and specifically the leadership advice that you've received that you integrated into your life that created incredible change for you. So, what is the best leadership advice that you've ever received that you'd like to pass along to our audience?
The best leadership advice, hands down, is when you're having an important conversation, get people on the phone, meet them in person, get them on Zoom. Do not have it in writing. Do not go back and forth on Slack. Do not go back and forth on email. Have that important conversation because so much of communication is nonverbal, it's relationship. And having that connection is super important. And so many things can go, I've seen things go south when they're in Slack or email. And I've also seen things go right when they could have gone critically wrong when you put them in a human connection.
That's absolutely right. It is the one-on-one personal connection that I think is transformational. And I really am going to use that last piece of incredibly impactful leadership advice as a way of inviting all the women listening to this podcast to be in the room, to make that personal connection, to meet the experts and advisors that you're going to hear from on March 8th. So we're so happy that all of you have joined this impactful discussion today about advancing financial freedom for women all around the world, provided by LeadHERship Global and featuring the one and only Lauren Hasson. But if you want to learn more about the Women's Wealth Symposium, simply visit LeadHERship Global, LeadHERship Global Women's Wealth Symposium. So go to leadhershipglobal.com and look for the Women's Wealth Symposium event. I can't wait to see all of you in the room on March 8th in celebration of International Women's Day. Join us to take the next step in the journey for financial empowerment and freedom in whatever way you define success. Lauren, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to seeing everyone at the symposium.